Today we are going to talk about how to use advanced tax calculator. We will look at the details using an Excel sheet as well. So we will go a step-by-step approach where you can see how do you really pick up the income and other sources and other details and enter that into tax calculator. It is provided by Income Tax of India website. So we will look at this example where the salary income is around 9,50,000 after standard deduction. And then there is some capital gains as of 31st of July, which was charged at 20% of tax rate. And there's an interest from bank. And there is an amount of TDS which has been deducted from this SSC during the course of the financial year 23 and 24. So this is the example. Let's go through this example step by step and see how do you calculate this in a spreadsheet. Then I'll also show you how easy is it to calculate using the tax calculator, which is available online. So here the tax advanced salary, the salary which was there, I entered here 9,50,000, and the capital gains amount is 2,50,000, and the income from other sources here in this case the interest from the bank amount is 20,000. So total income is 12,20,000. So I have taken the calculation in two different sections, one pertaining to the long-term capital gain and the other pertaining to the other income. So from this example, we have picked the income, which is 2,50,000. And the long-term capital gain here, which is already, we know that it is taxed at 20%. So that's the investment which the SSC is having. And the tax above rate is at 50,000. And for the purpose of this example, I'm considering there is no surcharge, and then an educational cess of at 4%. So total advance tax payable on the long-term capital gain is coming to 52,000. Whereas the rest of the income, in the terms of the salary, in terms of the interest from the bank, is coming at 9,70,000. And then here I'm considering a flat tax of 11%. So I'm not considering the basing on the tax slab. So I'm considering a normal interest rate of 11% here. And then doing the calculations following the same principle, applying 11% on 9,70,000 and then a 4% of an educational cess on the top of it. That is totaling to advance tax payable of 90,216. So this amount, both of them added together, is coming to 1,42,000, which is the advance tax payable. So it's a pretty straightforward calculation. So we looked at the income and then subtracted the tax on that. And then from that, we have added the surcharges and the additional cess. And then in the last line, you see the deduction of the TDS. So the TDS, which has been already levied during the year, has been deducted from that. And then you have 90,216. And then it added up to 1,42,000. So that's the advanced tax payable. I'll also briefly show you. So this advanced tax, whatever we arrived, 1,42,216 rupees. That is something which is to be paid during the course of 4 quarters, the different advanced tax payable dates. I have a separate video about what are these advanced tax dates are going to be and how the percentages pertaining to that has to be calculated. But briefly here, the initially until 15th of June, it has to be 15% of the total advanced tax payable. And then for 15th of September, it has to be 45%. So in case if something is already paid, then it has to be subtracted from the 45% of the amount. And for December 15th, it is going to be 75% of the total outstanding advance tax. So in case if something is already paid, it has to be subtracted from that. The similar is case of until the last installment of 15th of March, which will really cover the entire payment of advance tax of 100%. So in case of advance tax, in the example, if you remember, we are having the advance tax only from 31st of July. So the first quarter, there is no incidence of taxation from advance tax for long-term capital gains. So I marked as nil. And then subsequently calculated and subtracted whatever is the amount which has been already paid in the previous installment, so that we know how much to pay in the subsequent ones. So it's a straightforward calculation, subtracting whatever is already been paid and arriving at the final amount. So similar is the case with advance tax payment on the income other than long-term capital gains. So the total is matching with the whatever advance tax payable we arrive. So this calculation will show you how do we arrive at it. We'll also look at it from the income tax website, providing a free calculator to calculate advance tax, where we don't need to really do all the math, but simply we need to just enter the income deductions and whatever the TDS amounts are. We'll get this final amount directly. Let's see that. Income tax advance tax calculator, and I'm picking up the first available option from Google. So it's pretty straight to find it out. And then I'm selecting here the taxpayer as individual, where and this is available under income tax department website. So it's freely available under tax tools. So I have selected here the individual taxpayer as an option, and then I'm not using the new tax regime. So you already know that we have two different tax regimes already now when we are in financial year 2003 and 2023 and 24. I'm following the old tax regime option. And then you selected here male and then residential status. You can see any residential status, be it resident, non-resident, or not ordinary resident. Everybody is eligible or liable to pay advance taxes. So all three options are shown here. So picking up from the example which I was showing in the spreadsheet. So here the income from salary after the standard deduction of 50,000 is 9,50,000. So that is something I'm going to enter here, 9,50,000. Then there is a capital gains which we discussed just now. The capital gain amount is for the month starting from the month of 31st July 2023 at 20%, and it is coming to 2,50,000. So that's the amount I'm going to enter here under 20 lakhs bracket, 20% bracket, sorry. So you just has to click on hide details. In case if you have any other income, let's say income from house property, it's pretty straightforward. You can click on show details and you can add here the details of the income. Or let's say if the interest is paid on the housing loan, you just has to enter that. And then it will pick up automatically. And in case of income from other sources, I have showed you in the example just now that there is a 20,000 interest which is coming from the bank. So I'm going to declare that here as 20,000. Let's say if you have any other income from lotteries or income from other sources, you have to just enter that here. And also there is an option here to consider income from business sources as well as agriculture income. So it is important to just declare all of them. For the purpose of this example, I'm not showing any deductions to be picked up here, but nevertheless, in case if you already paid some insurance premium as a part of this financial year already, some contributions towards PPF and regarding any mutual funds, those deductions shall be entered here so that during the purpose of advanced tax calculation, the calculator will pick up that. And so you see here whatever we entered or reflecting. So the advanced long-term capital gains tax is reflecting here at 20%, and then the amount of the income liable at a normal rate, which is like considered as 10%, is reflecting here. So these will get added up, and then you will get here the income tax after relief under 87A. However, because the annual the taxable income until this point of time is beyond 5 lakhs, there is no rebate or relief under section 87A. That's why you don't see any relief. And in case of educational cess, it get applied. And then I also need to enter here the TDS amount. Don't forget to enter in case if there were a TDS deduction or TCS in case of tax collected source. So which is coming to 20,500 from the calculation here. So these things after I enter here, if you look at the spreadsheet calculation, it is coming to 1,42,206. Of course, there was a little bit of round off that was coming to here to 1,42,260 because of the assessment of the health and educational cess. But if you click on calculate, this is directly going to give us all the numbers of advanced tax from the cumulative side of it, and then also from the installment point of view. For example, let me show you that for the first installment, if you go down in the spreadsheet, we are getting the first installment of 13,532 from both advanced tax from long-term capital gains and then advanced tax from income from other sources. Both are coming to joining together 13,532. So, and then in case of second installment, it is coming to 50,465. So there was, of course, 10 rupees of difference because the calculator is considering percentage at 10.98 on the normal rate of interest on the salary, and I have considered 11% there. So, but keeping this in mind, it is very easy to follow the calculation part of it from the tax calculator. The only thing is that you need to prepare your income sources, deductions, whatever is been done so far, and income from other sources, including capital gains, and just you have to key in. Then it will show you the corresponding calculations as well. Here you can see the calculation from surcharge, educational cess, and total tax liability. And then in case if you also get into consideration of the TCS and then total TDS deduction, you will get the final tax assessed. And this section below will give you the accumulated advance tax you need to pay at a specific installment, and also specific installments on the corresponding dates as well. So this is very easy to follow and then compute. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.